Hey all, welcome to ShareTrek. This is Raj here. Friends, right now I'm going to talk about Illumina, which is the other company that reported results yesterday. It's done well in the market post results, but I have my own concerns about Illumina, and I want to talk about that. And I'm going to be following a different approach for Illumina because the same approach that we use for our genomic gene engineering companies would not work. And I have my own observations for Illumina. So with that said, let's get started. Welcome back, friends. Let's first start by looking at how the market has reacted to Illumina and look for some technical pointers. So first we'll go into the TradingView platform and have a look at the price action. After that, I'm going to talk about the key points that Illumina had mentioned in their earnings release. And after that, I want to take you to a document inside Illumina's website, which is a summary notes for the review, Q2 earnings review. And I will talk about that as well. That is a point out there that I want to talk to you about. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's go into the TradingView platform right now. Here we are in the TradingView platform looking at the price chart for Illumina, and each of these candles is a one-day candle. And friends, this morning Illumina started off at a very, very low price. I think they opened somewhere around 179.05 and then they went down to touch 175, and then they went to an all-time high in the recent past of around 195.41, back to settle down right now somewhere around 186 point something, 185.81 or something like that. So there has been a lot of activity. People are trying to quickly parse what is happening with Illumina. In the process, it broke through a support at 180.79 levels, and then now it has converted it back into a support. So overall, it seems the market is positive about Illumina. It is still above yesterday's close. So that's how I'll assume that it's positive. If you look at the momentum, it's also picking up, but it's still below average. And MACD is not yet bullish. So this is the observation I have here. Another observation I have here is that all the way from somewhere around 27th of June 2023 onwards, we have been in a range-bound manner where we have not exceeded 194.07 and we had not fallen below 180.23. And today we have breached both the top and the bottom of this range, which indicates how confused the investors are. And I'm going to talk to you now about the key points that they had mentioned in their earnings release. So you're looking at this slide out here, which talks about most of the parameters exactly copied from their earnings report. So they had a revenue of 1.18 billion for Q2, up 1% from Q2 2022. So that's not that great improvement that one would like to see. But still, considering the turmoil that the company went through in Q2, I think the fact that they didn't lose revenue is a positive. They shipped 109 NovaSec X instruments in Q2 2023, and they've also claimed to have boosted their supply capacity to more than 390 instruments for fiscal year 2023. GAAP diluted loss per share is $1.48 for Q2 2023 compared to GAAP diluted loss per share of $3.40 for Q2 2022, which included $609 million in legal contingencies. So I'm not sure whether the 1.48 now includes legal contingencies or not, but we have a footnote that I'm going to talk about, so we'll discuss it out there. And non-GAAP diluted earnings per share of 0.32 for Q2 2023 compared to non-GAAP diluted earnings per share of 0.57 for Q2 2022. So earnings per share has dropped for this quarter compared to the same year in the previous quarter. And they are now expecting fiscal year 2023 consolidated revenue growth of approximately 1% from 2022, including core Illumina revenue that is approximately flat with 2020, and Grail revenue still in the range of 90 million to 110 million. And they expect a GAAP diluted loss per share to be 2.08 to 1.93 for fiscal year 2023, and diluted earnings per share of 0.75 to 0.90 for fiscal year 2023. So now I'm not more concerned about these things at this point of time, because I've not been following Illumina with so much of detail. So I'm going to focus on things that and that would be found in this document on the website of Illumina. So it's talking about Q2 2023 summary of prepared remarks. And one of the remarks that I have been concerned about from the beginning, but this is the particular remark that I am focused on. Maybe I'm misplacing all my focus on this remark. So if you look at the management commentary here for cash flow from operations and cash equivalent and short-term investments, it says we have 750 million in convertible debt that matures this month. And additionally, on July 12, 2023, the European Commission imposed a euro 432 million fine on Illumina due to the completion of the Grail acquisition during the pendency of European Commission's review. And it continues to say, we plan to issue a guarantee and defer the payment of the fine pending the outcome of the appeal of the EU General Court's ruling that the European Commission has jurisdiction to review the Grail acquisition. Friends, I think it's illogical to expect the EU not to have any rights to rule on Illumina's acquisition of Grail. If ever Illumina wanted to operate in Europe, then it needs the EU permission, because if they integrate Grail right now and then they try to move into EU, at that point also European Union will have the same concerns. So I think this point is moot. I still believe that they should just give a commitment to let go of Grail and request the EU to waive the penalty. I don't think EU is putting a penalty just because they want the money. They want to dissuade this behavior. And as long as Illumina continues to hang on to Grail, I'm really concerned. One is that this money is definitely going to go away to EU, 432 million. And the second thing is that there could be another potential 432 million fine, because EU will not tolerate this behavior. So that's my worry, and this is where I'm most focused. I'm not worried about the other things. They have a team for R&D which has been doing a good job. They have a marketing team which has been doing a good job. Those guys will continue doing their work. But whatever monies they earn, it's all going into this fire pit of Grail acquisition. And that is my main concern. So as long as they do not give up Grail, I think I'm having a big deal of problems with Illumina. At this point of time, I can see that they have been rewarded positively, but just the opposite of what I thought for DNA. I think Illumina has not shown anything to warrant improvement in its pricing. It's still the leader of its business, and I think it can continue to be the leader for its business, basically because the management has changed. So that means there is new hope that they're going to focus on their core competence, which is genomic sequencing, machines, and technology. And the lingering thought I have is that the influence of Carl Icahn can potentially convince them in the near future to give up Grail and focus on their core competence. If that doesn't happen, then we are in for big trouble with Illumina. That's my personal opinion. And at this point of time, I think that Illumina probably will go sideways, because they are not showing much of revenue gain, and they are also flat from 2022. So there is nothing much happening out here other than that Grail debacle, and that is a negative aspect. So that's where I would like to end this video. I'm not that impressed with the results. One of the things that I'm relieved about is that despite all the drama in the management executive level in Q2, it has managed to stay afloat with a 1% gain over the previous Q2 of 2021. So that's a positive. But they need to get rid of this Grail obsession. Till that happens, I'm not going to be bullish on Illumina. So that's where I would like to end this video. Friends, please let me know what you think. Do you think the market has unnecessarily rewarded Illumina today? I think that it should have remained flat, and probably it would remain flat for entire Q3 until a positive catalyst comes. And to me, the positive catalyst is an agreement with EU that they will divest Grail when the moment is opportune, and they'll operate it as a separate company, and that EU agrees to let them go of the penalty of the 400 million plus penalty, provided the divestment takes place at a future date. If that happens, I would be absolutely bullish on Illumina. Till then, I'm very uncomfortable, because EU can again impose another penalty for the next year, because you don't dare all these institutions the way Illumina is doing. It seems very arrogant the way they jumped the gun before EU could approve, and whatever they are doing now is still not good enough. Okay, thanks a lot, friends. Sorry, I'm a little bit bitter about Illumina, but that's how I feel. Please let me know what you think, and put it in the comments below. That's all from me for now. I'll catch up with you in the next video.